Hey, what's good guys? It's Afro here from AFROCHIBI Champs and welcome to another installment of Deck Profiles. Today we're going to be focusing on the waiting game. If you're ready, let's go. Okay, so before we get started, if you do want to support the channel, please drop us a like, subscribe, comment, share, anything you can do just to build up the viewership and, let's keep pushing this channel to the best it can be. So, all right, up first, we're going to go into kind of just discussing what we got going on here. So at the moment, we have our pyramid as always. Your power 1s, power 2s, power 3s, and power 4 at the top on land 1, and then your cavalry. So this is all about the waiting game. So ideally, you kind of want to have AFROCHIBIs that are very high in HP. So, they're very hard to get through, a bit like a wall, until you can bring in your your better cards and stuff like that. So if we go into our land 4, which will have our power 1s, you can see you have HP of 40, a 50, and a 60. Red Raptor is your best of land 1s when it comes to HP. And then you might have seen HP 30. Now, the reason why Dynabone is here is not for the HP. And yeah, it does have a good attack, which kind of aids in the actual process of this. But your cavalry is always good if you're trying to save a certain AFROCHIBI until your hand is, has the appropriate card. Now, hopefully, if you've been following my channel, you'll know about Dr. Blue Banner. He can turn into the bulk. So having a card like that potentially coming into the game, you want to protect this card and then bring him in from cavalry when you know you've got that card in your hand. Dynabone does have that same kind of ability, but it brings in a power 4. So Power Bone is a great card to have, but it's not necessarily, Dr. Blue Banner material. So having these guys in your deck would really help. But obviously, until you can get them out and dropping those devastating 250 attacks and 450 attacks, then you're better off kind of moving Dynabone on your first energy and replacing them with someone else with high HP. So yeah, I definitely advise doing something like that. And yeah, let's keep going. So strongest power 2 in the game, with the strongest HP of 100. You have an 80 and a 90. So these are your top power 2s. You have your backup just in case. And same for your power 3s. Same rules apply. So you have the greatest with 200 HP. You got Bash with 190, and then you have my G with the strongest HP of 350 and the strongest power 4 in terms of HP. So it was a no-brainer, but there is other options in terms of power 4s that you might want to pick instead that are just as good in some ways, or you just might want these cards in your deck. So I'll show you them now. Alien Moon Spider, technically, once he's defeated, he remains in the game instead of going into your discard pile or going into your grave zone, sorry. HP of 230, but he returns with a HP of 120. You add that together, it's 350. And on top of that, he has a stronger attack. So some people might prefer to use Alien Moon Spider as their wall of defense on their land 1 rather than using my G. Okay, as well, you got Skeleton. Very good attack, very good defense. So as you can see, a very, very good contender as well. And probably a good one just to have in your deck regardless. And then an amazing attacker. It's the only AFROCHIBI right now that gives you the opportunity to roll 3 times instead of the one usual one or the roll of 2 that some of the AFROCHIBIs have. As well, the HP is very high, so HP of 300, not many people can break through that. So Power Patch Trio, get my vote as well. I've showed you already a few of the other AFROCHIBIs that I would have in your deck, but here's some other ones. Machete 13 is a free play card, HP of 280. I'll definitely throw 2 copies of Machete 13 in the game. King Komodo, Power 5, so these are some more big dogs to kind of support you when the time is right to get these cards into the game. But yeah, it's all about finding your time to get these cards in. So yeah, these 3 are like your big cards that you'd want to wait and get into the game. And then Machete as well, good wall of defense to just come out of nowhere. So Definitely good ones to have. Okay, so now we're going to go into the tactic cards as always. There's only one equip card that I think would be great for the waiting game, and that's Bear Trap. So you get to trap your enemy. As long as they're face up, you can trap them. They cannot move at all. The only way they can get out of it is if they use something like Jetpack or other ways that I'm not going to spoil finding out, because basically what I've done is I've worded stuff on purpose in a certain way so people can then start to twist it and find other ways and means to getting out of stuff and getting out of traps and everything else basically. Up next will be the land cards, and there's quite a few here. So we've got Release the Kraken, perfect for what it is. I'll just give you a moment to read it. There we go. Avalanche, trapping your opponents. Having 2 copies of these really binds that, gives you more time to do whatever you want to do. Afroland, great for defending certain AFROCHIBIs in general, giving you more time. And a Great Castle Wall, so if all else fails and your opponent somehow has defeated some of your AFROCHIBIs and has made it to your land 1, you play the Great Castle Wall, and it's your big wall of defense for 3 of your opponent's turns. They can't harm and attack you for life points. And then we got Trapped in Space and Time, similar to Avalanche, takes your opponents out of the game for 3 of their turns, so it's a good one to have. And back to the beginning. Alright, and last but no means least, we've got the power cards. We've got Fresh Start, so if your hand is not going well, then obviously you could pick yourself to then shuffle your hand back into your deck and then draw the top 5 cards from that. At the same breath, if your opponent seems to be having a great time with their hand, you can actually stop them from gaining some advantages from their hand. You got Radius Blocker. The worst thing in the world is obviously if you built your wall of defense and then they have a strong radius attacker, yes, it's going to hit you from afar and it's just not ideal. So if you can block that play, then you're in the pocket. Premonition, perfect for what it does. Just let you read that. Really, really good card to have. Gives you more time. Banished, stopping your opponent's strong cards from the get-go. Take them out and it'll go back into their deck. Boogaloo Boogaloo, if you're losing cards kind of rapid and you're not gaining a good hand, this will save one of your AFROCHIBIs. And then you have a direct hit. So on the contrast, if your opponent's actually gaining the upper hand and defeating you, if you had 2 copies of direct hit, you'd actually gain direct points. Okay, so you need a score of 15 to win the game. So if you lose 2 AFROCHIBIs, they would get 2 points, but then so would you if you had these in your power base at that same time. Then you have Need More Power, so if things aren't going your way, you can boost your life power. Like I said, it's a score of 15 to win the game. If you had this, or even 2 of these, then it would be a score of 20, or they would have to score 25 to win the game. So it's very, very good to have. There we go. Okay, so there you have it, guys. As always, if you did enjoy, please drop us a like and let us know what else you would like to see, what other decks that you think I could put together for you. But yeah, nothing else to say except for I'll see you tomorrow, guys. Peace.